Hello, everyone. Welcome live to 3YTV, tonight's broadcast of the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit 358 Modifieds here at Knoxville. I'm Peter Short, and I'll be taking you live here tonight, slinging some mud here on 3YTV. Base car is headed down for heat number 1 here tonight. As you see all the cars out there on the racetrack, green flag in the air here as we are racing here at Knoxville. Going off into turn number 1 here for heat number 1. Out front right now, it is driver of the number 19. That is Daniel Northcutt in his machine. Up there on the top side, we got number 15, down on the bottom side. That's Brent Carey down there. The Carey's racing machine as they're racing, coming out of turn number 1 here. Not sure what is up with the graphic up there at the top of the screen. Not working currently. And we have car around in the backstretch. It is Jared King who's gone around. We'll see if we can get everything sorted out with the graphics here tonight. But that number 12 machine did go around. Meanwhile, Edward Abbott has also gone around in the number 33 machine. There is Edward. But we're still racing up towards the front of the field, and it is Daniel Northcutt continuing to lead the way in the number 19 machine. Still trying to see if we can figure out what's going on, folks, with the graphic up there at the top of the screen. We might just have to go to this one right here, although it is having a little bit of a conniption as well. Still Daniel Northcutt, the number 19. There's the number 11 machine running in second. Eric Bristline. There's some good racing right here, right there on the top. Might have jumped the berm a little bit in his machine, but here comes the number 15, started up towards the front. That is Brent Carey getting really close to the wall. There's contact, and the number 92 going up and over the number 13 machine, 73 machine. Justin Jones going up and over here. And there's a couple cars towards the back. We'll see whether or not that brings out a caution flag or not. Daniel Northcutt continuing to lead. No, we stay green flag. We'll see if we might have to reset the graphics here for you guys. We'll see if we can do that and see if that all works out. Ooh, there we go. Reset those graphics and see if we can bring them back up. Hopefully that will sort some things out for you guys back at home. And you know what? It does not appear to be sorting itself out, unfortunately. Hopefully we can get things kind of sorted. Oh, problems up at the front of the field. That's the number 19, Daniel Northcutt and Jordan LaFawn. And Jordan was able to get underneath it. I do apologize, folks. Not sure exactly what's up, but unfortunately, Daniel Northcutt, who has led the way here in this heat, you can see the track down there on the bottom side, very, very slick right now. But able to make some passes down there if you're brave enough. Pretty much everyone running up the high side. Right now, Jordan LaFawn is leading heat number 1, working his way through turn number 1 and 2 right now, up to a pretty decent lead over Austin Kroger. But Kroger's been caught here by Josh Anders, and here comes Anders around the top side in his number 13 machine. Look at that great move on the top side of the racetrack. Austin Kroger now back to 3rd. Here comes Brent Carey in 4th, and then Daniel Northcutt, who had such a great start to the race. Just wondering if the racetrack might just be getting away from the number 15A as he works his way coming out of turn number 2 here onto the backstretch. Very slippery racetrack here tonight. We heard some drivers really having a hard time in practice. We had other drivers saying, you know what, don't adjust the racetrack. The racetrack is going to be absolutely perfect. There's Matthew Moniak in the Maniac Gaming number 7 machine. He's currently riding in the 6th position right now. Jared King in the Sub-Zero Sim Racing machine right behind him in the number 12, and back behind them a couple of cars that have had troubles here in the heat. Great move by the number 12 machine, just jumping around the outside, but up at the front of the field, it is still the number 11, Jordan LaFawn, who has up to a 3-second lead, coming to the checker flag. Going to win heat number 1 in the number 11 machine. Battle back behind them for 2nd. Looks like Josh Anders is going to take home that spot. Austin Kroger, Brent Carey coming home in 4th, and Daniel Northcutt, who led heat number 1 early. He will fall all the way back to 5th with a little bit of a spin in the corner. We'll see if we can bring up the results from heat number 1 for you here in just a brief moment. Do apologize, folks. There was some updates for iRacing here today, and unfortunately it seems like they have broken the graphics, at least some of them. We'll see if we can get everything there. Unfortunately, we're kind of scrambling to get some of the graphics exactly right, but there is heat number 1 with Jordan LaFawn taking home the win. We'll see if we can get some of those graphics squared away for you folks back at home here. And really great to have the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit here on 3Y TV here tonight. A little bit of dirt slinging, as you can see some of the cars rolling out there onto the racetrack for this heat. We'll see if we can bring up that starting lineup right there with Dustin Lamb starting on the pole. Levi Hilleman, Steve Shaw, Tim Ripley, Nicholas Lamb, Hunter Gaines, Cameron Dawson, Corey Kussler, Brian Hogue, Bill Sleet, and Jason Ferguson rounding out your 11-car field for this particular heat here on 3-Wide TV. Let's see if we can watch those cars there working their way onto the front stretch. Of course, 358s here modified. Do believe it's a fixed setup league. This is the first time we've broadcasted them here on 3Y TV. We'll have them for the next couple of weeks right here on the channel. Just checking out to see if we got anyone in the chat. No one so far here tonight, just me. And with all the technical gremlins that we've had here tonight, really been a bit of a struggle here in the booth, but great to have these drivers out here on the racetrack as they close in on the season finale. We will be broadcasting them all the way to the end of their season. So, folks, we're about to go green here for heat number 2. We'll see if we can get some of those graphics lined up for you. And now, looks like the ticker is finally working, and it'll be the number 10 machine trying to lead us to the green on the inside, but he did not get a great start. Levi Hellman in the number 2 machine just blasting around the outside. Great start. Look at this. The number 10 machine, who started at the front, goes around at the back of the pack. Dustin Lamb, and we still got cars piling in. The 16 there of Jason Ferguson, Cameron Dawson getting involved as well as Bill Sleep. So the back 4 cars right now all involved in this particular incident. And you can see the live timing and scoring has disappeared once again, so we'll have to go over to that particular one. But up at the front, it is the number 2 machine. Look at this battle for the race lead here as we're working lap number 2 here. 11 laps to go as the 2 is under fire from a very fast Canadian driver, Steve Shaw, on the number 54 machine, trying to get just a little bit lower on the racetrack. You can see how the racetrack has slipped down on that side of the racetrack. Now the 54 is going to go all the way to the bottom, trying to find a little bit of the fresh dirt down there, trying to pick up some grip in the number 54 machine, but we are side by side for the race lead here, working lap number 3, and the 54 has finally been able to pull it off. So the Canadian driver to the front, contact in the back. That's Corey Kussler, the number 1 machine, and back behind him, that is Hunter Gaines, who went around. Meanwhile, the 54 continues to work his way around as the race lead. Here comes Tim Ripley, and a very fast charging number 14 there of Brian Hogue. He's had a fantastic start to this heat here tonight in the number 14 machine, the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky 358, and a little bit of contact possibly in front of him between the number 2 and Tim Ripley, and that's going to allow that number 71 machine to possibly drop back another spot here to that 14, and sure enough, Brian Hogue, who's picked up 6 spots here from the start of heat number 2, and a little bit of connection issues there for that number 14, able to get things pointed in back direction as a Tim Ripley now under fire. Contact between the 2 and the 14, and Hilleman has gone up into the wall, and here comes the number 1, giving him the bamper right there. 2 torn up race cars at that point. They'll have to get back going, but that will give the second spot here to Tim Ripley in the Sub-Zero Sim Racing machine right there, whipping his way through turn number 1 and 2. Steve Shaw up the front has a fantastic start to the race here tonight. But folks, thanks for joining us here on 3Y TV. We do appreciate you jumping in here in the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. like I said, we got them for the next couple of weeks here on the channel. Just 4 laps to go in heat number 2. There was a battle a little bit further back. The number 10 machine, remember, he started up at the front of the field before going around on lap number 1. Some pretty heavily damaged cars, including the number 10 machine, although he probably got out all right in all that contact. Trying to run the berm up in turn number 1 and 2. Pretty good line out of that number 10 machine. We'll see what we got going on board right here as he works his way through turn number 3 and 4. Go on board, get a look at the action from on board that number 10 machine right now as we have just 2 laps to go. Let's jump back up to where Nicholas Lamb is right now in the bright orange and blue machine, trying to track down Tim Ripley. Although Ripley's been making some inroads on your race leader, Steve Shaw. White flag is out. This is going to be a really good heat for that number 71 machine. He's going to pick up 2 positions here from where he started, unless he can get by the number 54 as they work through turn number 3 and 4. They get tight there. He really sent it, but it will be the number 54 machine taking the win in heat number 2 over Tim Ripley. Nicholas Lamb coming home in 3rd in the number 5 machine. There is Brian Hogue and Corey Cussler rounding out your top 5 here. We'll get those results lined up for you folks here in just a brief moment. Really do appreciate each and every one jumping in here on 3 Wide TV. As we jump over, we're going to get these drivers lined up here for the feature here tonight with the number. Let's see who's going to start on the pole here for this particular race here that is coming up. Nicholas Lamb will be starting on the pole in the number 5 machine. Alongside him will be Austin Kroger in the number 17. Tim Ripley, Josh Anders on row number 2 with Steve Shaw and Jordan LaFawn, row number 3. Brent Carey, Brian Hogue, the number 14 machine. We saw him pick up a ton of positions in the second heat just a minute ago with Daniel Northcutt, who had that great start in heat number 1. He'll be starting on the inside of row number 5 with the number 1 of Corey Cussler back behind him. Then back on row number 6, Jared King, and alongside him, Dustin Lamb right there. On row number 7, Matthew Moniak and Levi Haleman, Jeff Lamb, Cameron Dawson, Justin Jones, Hunter Gaines, Edward Abbott, Jason Ferguson, Eric Bisline, Bill Sleep, and Gordon Grant rounding out your 23 cars here in the feature race here on 3 Wide TV. The Illicit Designs a dirt circuit here, folks. We got some of these drivers who will be slinging some mud here in just a little bit. There is the number 5 machine of Nicholas Lamb right there on the front row with Austin Kroger to his outside. Going to be very fun to see what we get out of this front row here. Back behind them, of course, we do have Josh Anders right there. Tim Ripley, the number 71. We saw some good pace out of him in heat number 2. Steve Shaw, the 54, the winner of heat number 2. Right there. Jordan LaFawn in the number 11. I love watching these drivers sling some dirt here on 3 Wide TV with the number 15 there. Brent Carey on the inside with Brian Hogue to his outside. But, folks, pace truck going to be headed down pit row. We're about to get set to go back. Green flag here on 3 Wide TV. And there is the green flag a little bit late on the green flag. And everyone's off and running here around turn number 1 and 2. 3 wide. Look at the number 14 machine. That's Brian Hogue getting kind of battered up by the rest of the field as he gets split 3 wide. It is the number 17 machine. We got a big stack up towards the back of the pack, though. Hearing quite a few cars involved. The 15, the 58, the number 16. There comes the 57 coming in a little bit late. But up towards the front of the field, we are going to have a caution. First caution flag here tonight coming on lap number 2. Let's see if we... Let's see, I do apologize. Just gremlins here tonight. Let's see if we can get a replay dialed up for you folks here on 3 Wide TV and see what all went down there on the racetrack, because don't exactly know what all went down here on the restart. There's the number 10 machine, Dustin Lamb, and Lamb gets up into the catch fence and just jumps off the catch fence right there. Meanwhile, keep an eye on the 58 machine. There was contact there between the 2 and the 15, and there was definite contact out back, and then the 15 and the 58 get together, and wow, that was some hefty contact there in all over the racetrack, all over the backstretch. Essentially, the entire backstretch ended up being a little bit of a parking lot, unfortunately, here on lap number 2. Let's see if we can go back and get another look here from the 3 Wide TV aerial cam of this contact. There's the number 2 that went around, and then up in front of them, all this went down, unfortunately, and that was enough to bring out the caution flag here as we continue to pace around here. And I'm not exactly sure why live timing and scoring is saying the 187 of Cameron Dawson has a 1-lap lead, but it is saying that. It's saying that on all my live timing and scoring, so I'm not sure what's up with that. We do know he does not have a 1-lap lead as of right now. Nicholas Lamb is your race leader. Not sure what iRacing did this week, folks, but it has thrown us for a loop here on 3 Wide TV. Really do apologize for that, as we got one car, I think that was the number 14, Brian Hogue, getting a little bit slideways through turn number 3 and 4. You love to see it. Contact! And the 14 machine is up in the catch fence, and oh my goodness, they continue to pile in as Jason Ferguson involved again in this one, and the 92 Eric Bristline is on his lid, as is Jared King. Folks, this will sure enough bring out another caution flag here. Let's see if we can, we might have to put this one here into the 3 Wide TV slow motion. Here we go, back live, and oh man, the 14 gets thrown up to the catch fence, the 12, and my goodness, that is Jared King that you see right there, and that's another car on its roof. That might be, not sure who that is back there. There is Jason Ferguson in the number 16 machine who is involved. Wow, lots of beaten up race cars. I think that is Eric Bristline in the number 92 who sits on pit road. That is not what you wanted to see if you're one of those drivers. That number 92 is completely tore up. As you see, live timing and scoring here, updating. It's kind of noting that the caution flags are not counting here, and that's why it kind of shuffles everyone up and down the scoring pylon there. Well, let's see. There's Nicholas Lamb, who is your race leader, folks, in the number 5 machine. Looks like we do have one car getting a lap back around the top side. I think that was Edward Abbott, if I am correct. Indeed, it was right there, coming out of Clarksville, slinging some dirt here tonight. There's the number 11, Jordan LaFawn. Hopefully you guys can kind of see what some of these cars look like here on 3 Wide TV, as I just realized I have double tickers again. This is usually not the graphics package I use. I definitely apologize for that. But meanwhile, up at the front of the field, I do believe we're getting set to go back to green flag racing with that number 5 machine of Nicholas Lamb leading the way once again here. Coming down nice and slow. You could see that car lurch up into the air. Green flag back in the air. And we're 3, almost 4 wide back behind them. Here comes Steve Shaw. One heat number 2. He's starting to make some noise. We're 3 wide for the race lead. Look at the number 17 machine, on the bottom side of the racetrack. Austin Kroger. But Nicholas Lamb around the outside of the number 5 is going to hold on to that spot for right now. But look at Ripley trying to make some noise in the number 71 machine as well. Just some great racing as Shaw gives a little bit of a bumper to the back of Josh Anders. And we got a caution flag once again. Jason Ferguson, hearing that he has had a moment. Let's see what happened here to the number 16 machine. Was off the pace here at this point. We might have to go a little bit further back, trying to get off the racing surface in his race car. We'll see. I think we are going to have to go a little bit further back to play the tape here. There's the 33. They make contact, the 16, and the 16 blows a motor there. And you see the 67 getting involved of Jeff Lamb as well. So that is Edward Abbott, Jeff Lamb, as well as Jason Ferguson getting involved. Unfortunately, those drivers are going to have to come to pit road and get their cars fixed here under this caution flag. Keep hitting the wrong button, folks. I'm gonna have to get used to this completely new graphics package here pretty darn soon here on 3Y TV. Let's go check out the chat here under this caution flag. Backwoods Gaming, and I'll be in the booth racing next Monday. Thanks for jumping in. I really apologize for the graphics package, but hopefully you can sit back and enjoy and watch some of the good action that is happening out there on the racetrack. I've been really impressed with how these drivers are able to sling their way around the racetrack. I know I personally am not... I haven't done a whole lot of dirt racing myself. I have done some, and I've really enjoyed it to go out there on the racetrack and just throw these things around. And as we get set for another restart here on 3Y TV, why don't we go on board with Nicholas Lamb in his number 37 machine. There goes the iRacing pace track on pit road. You see that machine just lurch up into the air, and we are back to green flag racing here as he slings it off at turn number. Look at that wheel work, just throwing that thing through turn number 1. Is he going to hold on to the lead? Looks like he has, but just briefly, because Tim Ripley found a little bit of grip down there on the bottom side of the racetrack, but he now can't find any grip in turn number 3 and 4. Slides up the racetrack, and Nicholas Lamb cuts back underneath him. Contact. Josh Anders at number 13. Number 18 on the side of that car is gone, and oh my goodness, the 7 has gone flipping upside down. That's Matthew Moniak, who went for a complete ride here on 3Y TV. We're going to have to bring up this one here on the replay. There was definite contact there up towards the front of the pack, including the number 17 of Austin Kroger, who's been very, very quick. That is going to be a very big shame for the number 17 machine. Let's see if we can figure out what all went down here. Let's keep our eye on the number 7 machine here. The number 7 machine, excuse me. The contact, I think, happened in front of him. It did, and he just got clipped by the number 17, and he went flipping up into the air. There's Austin Kroger. Let's see if we can go back and figure out what happened here to Kroger on this particular accident as well. Unfortunately, seems like we won't be able to do so. Here we go. This should tell us the story. Racing up there, almost 4 wide through turn number 3 and 4. Coming out, there was definite contact. Came down into the number 11. There's the contact in front of him as well as the 73 came in. And that was one of the Sub-Zero cars, I believe, who just kind of submarined underneath him. And that is not good for him. Let's see if we can get one more look at this accident. Let's see if we can keep our eyes this time on Josh Anders, because we know Anders was involved in that number 18 machine. There's the contact with the 54, the Canadian driver there of Steve Shaw, and he went around. Now, luckily, he was able to scoot away with not a whole lot of damage on his Sub-Zero number 18 machine, unlike some of the other cars, unfortunately, involved in that one. But we've re-racked him here, folks. The caution flags don't last very long here on dirt as the iRacing pace car heads back down pit road. And let's see if we can jump on someone a little bit further back in the pack here, and see if we can see what it looks like on board the number 67 of Jeff Lamb. He has got cars to the left of him, cars to the right. Now let's jump on board here with Jared King, slinging it up on the high line, trying to get a little bit of time up there. He's racing Bill Sleep and Hunter Gaines for position right now. You can just see how close quarters these cars are with one another. I mean, racing on dirt is not an easy thing, folks. I mean, you can see you're managing a whole lot of different things going on at the same time as we watch the number 1 of Corey Cussler trying to get into the top 5 here, battling with the 54 of Steve Shaw, the Canadian driver down there on the inside line. They might have touched there on the front stretch that last time by. You see Shaw down there. Meanwhile, Nicholas Lamb has been able to get a little bit of an advantage over Tim Ripley up at the front of the field. This is the best battle for position right now as we're hearing caution flag has come back out. Justin Jones in the back of the field has gone around. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to the number 73 machine of Jones right here, battling with the number 14 of Brian Hogue. And whoa, the 15 in front of him got up into the wall, and bam! That is really, really unfortunate. Getting into the number 15 machine. Let's see if we can go back and sort out what all happened with that one. It is the number 15A, number 13A on the number 13, on the scoring pylon right here. This is Daniel Northcutt, who was so fast in heat number 1, and unfortunately just ended up a little bit of a pinball machine on the backstretch here, and his night appears to be done here at Knoxville. Let's see if we can reset the field for you folks. Looking from high atop the blimp cam here, you can see all the action here from the beautiful Knoxville Raceway. Of course, you got the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame here. Really one of the best racetracks to go to if you are dirt aficionados. You see the sun setting over this beautiful racetrack right there. But the good news is the face truck lights have turned off at the front of the field, and we are going to re-rack them once again and do it all over here. Working lap number 11 of 40. Caution laps do not count. The field thinning out just a little bit. You can see a couple of cars towards the back of the field now out, as we have 18 cars, however, appear to be on the lead lap. Green flag is in the air. Nicholas Lamb in the number 5 will get us back to green flag. Look at Cameron Dawson digging down there on the bottom side of the racetrack in that 187 machine, trying to find some grip down there. Definitely did so in turn number 1 and 2, and looks like maybe Lamb might have clipped the wall on entry to turn number 3. That's allowed the 71 to get side by side, and we're still 3 wide for the race lead. How about this, folks? 3 wide on 3 wide TV. You'll love to see it here as that 187 Cameron Dawson trying to get back to the throttle. When you have a slick racetrack like that, it can be very difficult to modulate the throttle. He's just trying to find that little line of grip down there before the track really slicks out. But look at Tim Ripley. He's found a little bit of grip right in the middle of the racetrack, a little bit higher up. The track's looking really slick right there with how it's slicked down, but he's been able to make it work. He's your new race leader here as we work lap number 14. The 5 of up there of Nicholas Lamb trying to find a little bit of space on the high line. He's been dominant up there on that high line here all night long. As here comes Corey Cussler back there in the number 1. He just barged his way past Jordan LaFawn for position, and he's now going to be inside the top 5 as the 5 machine. Oh my goodness, the 5 machine, Nicholas Lamb upside down. And he has been the dominant driver here tonight. Getting up onto the wall, and we'll have to go back and see what happened here. Was there contact, or did he just reach out and snag the wall? I think we had seen him make some... there was definite contact there with the 71 machine of Tim Ripley And that number 5 goes for a little bit of a roll, luckily able to land on all fours and get it back going. Pretty impressive that that car just did a complete 360, but my oh my, that is absolute disaster for the car that has been lightning quick here tonight. Let's see if we can go on board with him here. Let's see if we can see that contact with the number 71 of Ripley. Gets into, well, I don't know if there was any contact with Ripley. He just kind of banged it off the outside wall with his right rear. It was tight, and back on the wheels and go. So now Nicholas Lamb will have to charge up through the field, assuming there's not any significant damage on the number 5. Actually, you know what? Yeah, this is an interesting turn of events. The number 5 machine here, he's going to have to. I think he was back there with the pace car, where the pace car was, and I think he's getting his lap back here in that number 5 machine. So he will be on the lead lap, but right now I think being scored in the 17th position, as you see live timing and scoring continuing update. Oh, just bouncing over that curb that gets you into the infield. Going to come down, see if he, you know what, that number 5. Yeah, I know dirt cars kind of crab, but I don't think it's supposed to crab all that much. And Nicholas Lamb, his night might be done, although perhaps he was able to use a fast repair or something of the sort there, just coming into his pit box, and he is down and away. But he's going to have to fight his way back through the field. Meanwhile, the pace car lights have turned off. Pace truck on pit road. And we are back green with the number 71 of Tim Ripley. Now using the high line, we saw Cameron Dawson on that last restart. He was digging on the inside line, trying to find a little bit of grip down there. Really was doing a good job of sticking that inside groove as the number 11 of Jordan LaFawn and Corey Cussler just sending it off into turn number 3 and 4. And wow, the one of Cussler again sending it into turn number 1 that time. He is just going to barge the number 11 machine out of the way. And here comes Jared King in the number 12. He's running up there against the wall, making some noise now in the Penske Racing shots. The number 12 machine, he gets past LaFawn and now has his sights set on the number 1 machine. And I really like that line that King is running right now, as I do believe caution flag has come back out here. Hearing it was Brent Carey here in the back of the pack. Let's keep an eye here on the number 15 machine going through turn number 3 and 4. There's the Canadian Steve Shaw right outside of him. Was there contact? Indeed there was. Straight down into the 16 of Ferguson. He goes for a loop just enough to bring out the caution flag back out in the air here just before the halfway mark here in Knoxville. Definitely been a little bit of a wild night here for the 358s here in the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. We'll have to re-rack them and do it all again there, as there is Jared King making some noise. But, you know, sometimes with the fact that you don't have caution flag laps counting, you actually go back a lap to figure out where these cars are going to restart. So some of those positions that some of the drivers might have gained, they might be a little bit unlucky when those caution flags fall, because they often go back to the last time at the stripe to get those positions. So sometimes you can make some passes, and you're going to have to pass them right back. And we'll see if that happens again. Keeping our eyes on the number 5 machine of Nicholas Lamb. He restarted that last restart all the way back in 17th. He was able to make his way up to 15th. Right behind Jeff Lamb, there's Austin Kroger. He definitely has used a fast repair here tonight in his race car. So far, he's lost 11 position, which is rather unfortunate, as we know he's had a fast 358 modified here tonight. Racetrack continuing to evolve. It seems like that low line. I've been really impressed with the 187 of Cameron Dawson up there at the front of the field running that low line, but now Cameron's going to have to be on the outside groove for the restart, as the green flag about to come out here tonight, as caution flag number 7 is in the rear. Green flag number 8 is out here, as the lead him off into turn number 1. It is Tim Ripley. He's going to go down to the inside line, just hits that berm a little bit, slides up, finds that grip. That was a great move by Tim Ripley. Just sent it off into the corner, but look at Kussler here. We know Kussler's been aggressive. He's been extremely aggressive in the number 1 machine. He's been not afraid to use the right side of his 358 here tonight. But in all this madness, it is a Sub-Zero Racing 1-2 with the number 12 of Jared King right behind the 71 machine. And King trying to find that grip now on the top side. He got a great launch coming out of turn number 2. But I believe caution flag has indeed come back out. We're hearing Steve Shaw might have had a moment. Same thing with Justin Jones. Here we go. The 54 machine right up on the high line. Jones is in front of him right there, I think, in the number 73 machine, if I do believe. And a little bit of contact there. And the 5 getting involved, and Steve Shaw going up and over. And of course, that's not what the number 5 machine wanted, as he's trying to claim his way back up to the front of the field. Let's see if we can get another look at that one. Play the tape here, Peter. Going off through turn number 1. Let's see if we can get a slightly different angle to look at this one again. And just watch that car right there at the center of your screen, the number 73. I think he just got tagged in the rear end by the number 54 right there on entry. And good old iRacing physics, you know, sometimes send you up and over, and that's what happened there for the number 54 machine. We'll get one more look. One more look of this one here from, let's see if we can go on board here with the number 54 machine of Steve Shaw, as we will see that contact happen right there, and just tags the wall and goes up and over, and once again lands on the wheel. That's much better than the converse, where you don't end up on your wheels. But up at the front of the field, there is Jared King, who has had a fantastic race here. Started all the way back, I believe, in the 11th position in the main feature here tonight, and is now running in second. I mean, similar story to Cameron Dawson, the 187 back behind him. Dawson started well back, 16th position, in fact, in his 358 right there, and he has done a great job to work his way up to third. Right now, Corey Kussler, he's picked up 6 positions. He started in 10th. Hunter Gaines back there in 6th. He's also picked up a bunch of positions. But we're now going single file restarts here tonight. We have swapped over to the single file restarts after all of the action that we've been seeing, all of the accidents. I think the in-race administrators making that call to put out the lane cone, if you will, to tell everyone, no, we're going single file. As up at the front of the field, Tim Ripley's got a good start, but look at some of this racing a little bit further back. We mentioned the 58 of Hunter Gaines, as he's trying to look on the high side of Jordan LaFawn. There is LaFawn, there is Gaines. Gaines finding a little bit of that grip up there near the wall. There's contact between the two. That is one way to hold off a competitor, as LaFawn gets completely sideways there through turn number 3. I expect that number 58 to get the power down a little bit earlier out of turn number 4, maybe make that pass stick, but great job by the 58 right now. He's finding that cushion on the high line, and he's going to make that pass stick coming out of turn number 2. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, we got the 71 machine. As we're hearing, there's some accidents happening with Cameron Dawson, who was up there at the front of the field in the 178 machine. We were just singing his praises. The number 12 trying to get him flipped back over. How about this for a camera angle, folks? That is... unfortunately, 4 Hoosier tires pointing up in the air. Not what you want to see, and a good old 12 machine trying to get him flipped back over for this race start. But unfortunately, they're going to fall 1 lap down. I think one more hit. Come on, just give him a knock there, Jared, and get him flipped back. Oh, man. That was very, very close. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here, folks, and figure out how that 187 ended up on his lid right here. Racing with Corey Kussler in the number 1 machine, going off into turn number 3. Oh, it was the 12 in front of him that had a moment, and two very separate incidents. And 2 cars getting up into the air. I think that was the 67. Might have just gotten a piece of Cameron Dawson as he went on by, and the 12 here just trying to be a good Samaritan. in all that madness. And we'll get one more look at it kind of on board here. As you can see what happened to the 12 in front, going all the way almost up and over, and then just went into turn number 3 a little bit too hot was Dawson, and ending up on his lid, unfortunately. But we don't want to miss what's happening out there on the racetrack. Back live, Tim Ripley in the number 71 machine, ever since he got to the lead, folks, has been able to hold on quite nicely up at the front of the field in his 358. We'll see if the pace truck heads down pit road. No pace truck lights continue to stay on, but in all the madness, Corey Kussler has been able to move up into the 2nd spot. Jordan LaFon up to 3rd. Hunter Gaines 4th. Brian Hogue right there in the number 14. We saw a lot of pace out of Brian Hogue in his heat race a little while ago, as Jason Ferguson, I believe, is getting one of his laps back, almost making contact there with the race leader as he hustles his way around the racetrack. Just checking to see where Jason Ferguson will be on the scoring pylon. Looks like he's currently being scored about 1 lap down. I think he'll be now just 1 lap down in the number 16. We know he's had quite the night, but the pace truck lights have turned off, so we're going to go racing here with 17 laps to go. So just over halfway here in the main feature race, here brought to you by the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit, as the 71 Tim Ripley blasted off into turn number 1 once again. Corey Kussler 2nd, Jordan LaFon in 3rd, and Hunter Gaines plus 14 positions here tonight in that number 58 machine. And he was starting to make some noise up there on the high line. You know, dirt racing, folks, if you haven't done it here on the iRacing.com simulator, sometimes you can find your groove in more ways than one. You find your groove out there on the racetrack, the line, so to speak, that you start to feel comfortable and you start to make some passes, as well as just start to find the rhythm out there on the racetrack that you need to. As we see here, Nicholas Lamb, who led a good portion of the race earlier, he's starting to charge his way back up the front as he himself ended up upside down at one point in this race. It's been topsy-turvy in more way than one, battling here with Brian Hogue in the number 14 on the inside line. They're side by side here for that position. But I'm starting to see that very difficult to pass right now, as Josh Anders, who's had his own troubles here in the main feature race, got sub-zero on the back of that 358, trying to find a line to just get a little bit of grip. It just seems like right now the racetrack might be not exactly conducive to making some passes out there, but the number 5 right there of Lamb trying to disprove that fact in his machine as he tries to get around some of these cars in front of him. The 17 there of Austin Kroger, he's had his troubles. He's still running up there inside the top 5. Running right down there on the bottom groove, trying to run that line that we saw Cameron Dawson run a little while ago. Unfortunately, Dawson finds himself a lap down in the 187 as they run right now. Hunter Gaines, there is Hunter losing a little bit of ground right now on your race leader, who's Corey Kussler. I missed it. That Kussler made a pass, and we are side by side for the race lead here again, as here comes Tim Ripley, who pulls a big move off into turn number 1, pulls up the racetrack, a little bit of a slide job as they head through turn number 1 and 2, but the number 1 machine coming right back. Here comes Kussler. Kussler with the slide job. He tries to get it hooked up there on the top slide, but Ripley does the over-under, the old school move, trying to find that grip now on the inside line as caution flag has come back out, trying to figure out what happened here, and we're hearing it is Brian Hogue in the number 14 machine. Let's see what happened here. You see he had just lost that spot to the number 5 machine right in front of him. Going off into turn number 1, maybe a little bit, just the number 7 sent it on in. Could not get that number 7 hooked up. That is Matthew Moniak in his machine, and we'll go back and get another look of that number 7 here, but that number 7 really dove it off into turn number 1 and 2, was racing with the Canadian Steve Shaw, and bam! A little bit of contact brings out the yellow, and unfortunately it is Hogue that kind of got the bad end of that stick, but luckily he's able to get pointed back in the right direction here. which is always a good thing here. Hearing that Cameron Dawson is getting a lap back, so he will be back on the lead lap here for this restart that is upcoming soon. Jason Ferguson will need another lap back. Might get it here before the end of this race, as we will have about a 10-lap shootout here on 3 Wide TV when the green flag falls here in just a little minute. Carlos Costa in the chat. Carlos, hope you're doing well. I'm going to need to get with you after this race, Carlos, as we've had some technical gremlins here tonight. I think good old ATVO has finally bit the dust for me with this recent iRacing update. So I will need to get with you and make sure everything on the SDK side is good. But thanks for joining in for a little bit of the dirt action here tonight. Pace truck lights have turned off once again, so we got about a 10-lap shootout here on 3 Wide TV as the number 71 leads us back to green. Great jump for the number 71 as he blasted off into turn number 1 in front of the number 1 machine. It feels like I'm saying number 1 quite a bit. So he's got a good lead, but we saw that great side-by-side action between Kussler there, and Kussler really getting a strong run through turn number 3 and 4. It seems like he's found that berm just a little bit. If you look a little bit further back, contact between the number 54 of Shaw and the number 17, and Austin Kroger has gone around, and that will bring out the caution flag here once again here on 3 Wide TV. Let's see if we can see what happened here on this one. I think we got a pretty good look at that one here as the number 17 went off into the corner. 54 sent it down there, just not finding any grip. And unfortunately, the 17 goes around and nowhere for the number 73 of Justin Jones to go, but into the side of Kroger's machine. But he gets it pointed once again back in the right direction, and we will re-rack him and do it all over again. The good news for all of you Austin Kroger fans is it doesn't look like he has all too much damage on his machine, so he should be able to try and charge his way back up through the field here tonight. Beautiful Knoxville Raceway here for the Illicit Designs dirt circuit here, slinging some dirt around the famed Knoxville track here, and I gotta say, Knoxville is a lot of fun to race around. It can get a little bit ruddy at times, especially on the backstretch. I know I've raced here before when those ruts have formed. You got to look out front here of the number 17 machine of Austin Kroger, looking his way through turn number 3 and 4 right now, and just see some of those bumps forming in the corner, coming around to the front stretch, and all's looking nice and smooth here. And I'll tell you what, guys, when you get the ruts form in iRacing, you can really feel them in the car. Sometimes it can make your car completely go all over the place. I know, especially if you try lugging some of those really heavy stock cars around here, the trucks and such. Those ruts can completely ruin your race if you're not lucky. Meanwhile, the pace truck lights, speaking of trucks, pace truck lights have turned off. We're going to get set to go back racing here with Tim Ripley. Once again, leading us back to green. He's led a good portion of the race here now as we are once again green flag. Great restart for him. You see that gap back to Corey Kussler right now is almost a half second already, is the number 11 right there, working his way out of the corner. A little bit further back, Josh Anders here in the number 18. He's under fire from the 58 of Hunter Gaines. Gaines sending it up into the outside wall. Going to lose a little bit of time. And look at this battle right in front of him as Nicholas Lamb trying to charge his way back up through the field. We've mentioned how difficult it is to pass, but we know there's a lot of pace in the number 5 machine here tonight as we have just 7 more laps to go. He sends it off into turn. No contact there between Shaw. And what has happened here with Shaw, some connection issues for Steve Shaw after that. And Nicholas Lamb in the number 5 under fire here from the number 58 machine. That actually, Steve Shaw, not sure if he's back out there on the racetrack or not. Not seeing him. I'm wondering if Steve Shaw might have run into an issue with the number of incidents that he has had here tonight after that contact with the number 5 machine. Not sure, but he is not out there on the racetrack. It might be night done for the number 54. Tim Ripley continues to lead, but you can see that the number 1 is the lap continuing to wind down. Just 4 laps to go here around Knoxville. The number 1 of Cussler really not going anywhere here at the front of the field as we got this battle for the win here on 3Y TV. The Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit 358. You see those drivers are doing all that they can on the top side. Go on board here with Corey Cussler wheeling his way around the racetrack. He's going to have to go down to the low side of the racetrack, folks, if he's going to try and get around the 71 of Tim Ripley. When's he going to do it? Here he goes. He ducks down to the inside line. He's going to try and pull a slide job. Gets a little bit of grip there right in the center of the corner. We're side by side for the race lead. 2 laps to go at Knoxville. The 1 machine goes down to the inside of the racetrack again. Tries to pull the slide job. Caution flag in the air. Austin Kroger has gone around at the back of the pack. What happened here to Kroger in the number 71 machine here on the 3Y TV replay? The number 71 up there, turn number 3 and 4. Oh, just jumped the cushion up into the wall, gets on his side, and a little bit of wall riding. And unfortunately for that number 17, it doesn't look like he's going to end up on his wheels here in that one. We'll have to go back and get another look at this one here on the 3Y TV camera just to see how he sent it off into the corner. See when he jumped over the cushion. There it is. And unfortunately up into the wall. And that's what it looks like, folks, when your number 17 machine is not going anywhere. You see him trying to work the wheel to get that thing up back on its 4 tires, but unfortunately it doesn't exactly work like a Monster Jam truck where you can kind of flip that thing back over. And unfortunately for the number 17, that will pretty much spell an end to his night. Now, good news back at home here for you, Jason Ferguson fans. The number 16 at long last has made it back onto the lead lap. Yes, that's right. The number 16, who I think was on his lid at one point here tonight, is back out there right now and flinging some dirt here on 3Y TV, the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. 358 mods here tonight at Knoxville. Going to be a fun finish to the season here in this series. We are looking forward to the races that we have coming up to close out the season. And we got Knoxville here tonight, Cedar Lake next week, Eldora, and then championship night at Bristol on June 7th. So definitely some great races upcoming here on 3Y TV. I'm sure these drivers are going to put on a show. Meanwhile, we're going to have a 2-lap shootout, and this is, I think, what Tim Ripley wanted, because the one of Cussler was all over him. You see Cussler all over him again, but that number 71, once again, a fantastic restart. Cussler here going to have to hustle his way through turn number 1 and 2. You can see that the racetrack up there on the top side of the racetrack really getting slick. We're hearing that Steve Shaw might have had some issues on the restart. No, there he is. So we're coming to the white flag here, folks. No caution flags coming out, and looks like Cussler's there. Will Cussler send it? He's going to have to send it in turn number 3 and 4. He's closing in. He's got a good run through the center of turn number 1 and 2. He's going to have to send it down. There's some good side-by-side, but the 71 goes down there to block. There's contact, and Ripley's going around, and who's going to sneak on through? Jordan LaFawn in the 11 coming to the line. He's going to take the win at Knoxville. My, oh my, what a finish. Contact on the final corner, and Jordan LaFawn able to squeak on through, folks. What a wild finish here at Knoxville, and I think that is just a way to bookend this race. It was a wild one here, and LaFawn, he's just going to park it here on the front stretch. I'm sure he's completely beside himself right now. Great race for the number 11. You see Josh Anders, Brent Carey lining up here on the front stretch for all of you folks back at home. those drivers able to squeak on through. Let's see if we can see what all happened here. Coming to the line on the 3-wide TV replay. Go to that final lap right here on board with driver of the number 11 machine. There's the initial contact out in front of him, and he was just able to squeak on through. Meanwhile, back behind him, Josh Anders and the number 15 of Brent Carey, who was able to squeak on through. Kind of a quiet night for Carey, but able to squeak through right at the right time. If you folks are wondering what happened to Tim Ripley, he fell all the way to 11th at the end of the race. And let's see if we can figure out exactly. Let's get another look here from the 3-wide TV blimp cam of the contact between the 11 and the 71. I'm sure that's not what the number 1 was hoping for there. Just a little bit of contact there between those two cars, and unfortunately it kind of snowballed back behind him, but Corey Cussler still able to come home and finish 4th. Tough break, however, for Tim Ripley, who just dominated this race here tonight here on 3-wide TV. But that is your winner right there, driver of the number 11 machine. What a great way to close out a night. What a wild finish here as you see those unofficial race results there on the left-hand side of your screen. Let's see if we can bring up the feature results as they come up here in the Illicit Design Dirt Circuit. Jordan LaFawn with that last lap, last turn pass as all carnage broke loose in front of him. Josh Anders, Brent Carey also able to squeak on through. Matthew Moniak in the number 7 machine, the bright green Maniac Gaming machine, able to squeak home a 4th place finish with Corey Cussler there succumbing from 2nd, slid all the way back to 5th. Brian Hogue in 6th. Justin Jones in 7th. Jason Ferguson, Cameron Dawson 8th and 9th. Tim Ripley, what a shame for him. You see him, he didn't even make it to the start-finish line at the end of that one. Ended up being scored 1 lap down. Hunter Gaines as well in the 58. Nicholas Lamb, who had a lightning-quick machine here tonight. Very, very quick in the first portion of the race. Really, the race, if you go back and watch it, it's a Nicholas Lamb show for the first third of the race. And then, really, the 71 dominated the last 2/3 all the way to the final corner on the final lap. Bill Sleep comes home 13th. Austin Kroger 14th. Stephen Shaw 15th. Jared King, Jeff Lamb, Daniel Northcote. Big tough break for him. We expected him to be lightning quick. Got involved in an accident here tonight. Dustin Lamb back in 19th. Edward Abbott, Eric Bristline, Levi Helleman, and Gordon Grant did not start here tonight in the feature race. Levi did, but unfortunately out after 1 lap here. Definitely a wild one here. We'll see whether or not we have any post-race interviews for you. It does not look like we have any post-race interviews for you here in the Discord. Hopefully we can get some interviews for you guys next week, and hopefully some people can come back. We do apologize for some of the technical issues we had, especially at the top of the show. I think we got them relatively sorted out by the end. Here, the iRacing updates, always throwing us for a loop here on 3, well, not always, but sometimes throwing us for a loop here on 3-Wide TV. But definitely great to have each and every one of you joining us here tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the dirt track racing here from Knoxville Raceway, Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm Peter Short. Big shout out to our friends over at Sim TV for the camera angles that we bring you each and every week here on the channel. Of course, everyone at the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. Make sure you check them out on iRacing if you're interested in joining an iRacing league. This is a league for pretty much anyone who wants to get their feet wet on dirt, so make sure you check them out, and maybe you can be racing next week here at the famed racetrack Cedar Lake. Definitely going to be a fun one here on next Monday night. That is May 24th right here, same time, same place on 3Y TV. Folks, stay safe, have a good night, and we shall see ya!